We are going to talk about dating post 50, what women need to know, or something like that, since you two are our experts. Who wants to go first? Who raise your hands if you want to. Oh,
okay,
Sandy's
Sandy
in.
Weiner.
Okay. All right, Sandy's in. She goes first. Okay.
Can we tell her our joke? No.
No.
Okay.
Stop that.
Ugh.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, that's right. We're 50. We're women.
Get over
we're
it.
Bad.
Some of us are bad.
We're badass, man.
Women over 50 are badass.
Yes, from what we just heard, they used to be called MILFs. Now they're something else.
Was it wimp?
Whips.
Whip.
No more MILFs. It's now whips. Women, hot, intelligent, prime.
Yes. Whip.
Women, hot, intelligent.
In their prime.
In their prime.
As are whips.
Right.
So
that's
it's no longer MILFs. It's whips.
Right.
We love that.
Whips are the new post 50. And that's what we're going to talk about today. This is for women, by women, about women. You are our token male here. You're going to be our little bit of like a fly on the wall, and you are going to give us the male perspective, but this is really just for the chicks. Is that okay?
Okay.
You won't feel left out, right?
I am going to be a male fly on the wall.
How bad can this be, right? 3 chicks and you. It's like your dream. Yeah. It's your dream.
My dream?
3 hot whips.
Let's leave my dreams out of this for now, okay?
Come on. It's every guy's dream.
I don't.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get. You don't go along with what I say. So dating post 50, this is a whole world. It's a whole new world for the people who are the women who are suddenly single. It's a familiar world to the women that have been single, that are maybe divorced. We can consider this a little bit of a primer, maybe a little bit of a refresher for women who could use some new skills, tips, tricks. It's not any. I'm going to say this. I am a woman who,
thank God,
who did date in her 50s. I actually didn't.
No,
I didn't
you did
date
not
in my
date
50s.
In your 50s.
I met you the minute I turned 50. That was it.
Did you go on any dates after? Yes, you went on a Valentine's date.
I had one date, and then it was all done.
Because we did meet at your 50th birthday party.
Right. So I can't technically officially say that I dated in my 50s, but I know all about it. I dated in my 49s, which is just as worse, if not worse, just as bad, if not worse. So I know all about it. And I'm here to tell you, ladies, that yes, dating can be a little hard. It's, but it's hard at any age. I don't care if you're 30, 20. It doesn't have.
I think it's more difficult as you get older because you become a little bit more defined in who you are and in what you want. And sometimes it may feel like your prime has passed you by, but it really hasn't. Your prime is now. Your prime is today. And women should never forget that.
Yes. Thank you. I was just about to say wrong because I thought you were going to say women, it's dating is hard because you're now this age. And no, wrong. I was about to. That's exactly what I was going to say. Thankfully, you didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
No, you agree.
I agree.
I feel like singing. This is the time, the dawn of the age of hot women in their 50s.
Right.
60s.
Why
beyond.
Not? 70s.
This is it, man. This is where it's at. This is what we've all worked hard for.
If it still works, use it.
If it's working, it's twerking. So we've got, so with that said, we've got 2 fantastic women who are experts in this area. They are experts in women's empowerment at this age. So who better than our 2 guests that are coming on to break it down, help us out, give us the lay of the land for people new on the market, and also to give some hope and some reassurance to, yes, the women who've been out there for a while, and it's all good, you know?
Yes.
It kind of really is.
And I'm just going to be the male fly on the wall.
And and you are. So you'll speak when you're spoken to. Just sit there and look pretty. Chicken or cock?
Oh, chicken, eh? Come on.
So, where was I? I wanted to say thank you to everyone listening to our show who is of a certain age. Thank you. I mean, of all ages,
Yeah.
but really, but
certain
really,
ages
because I want to feel like we are offering, we provide a real service here, and that. Not to pat ourselves on the back or toot our own horn here, but I want to thank the women that are listening to this specific episode, because it says to me, you care, you're concerned, you're interested, you're optimistic about your futures, your dating futures, or your dating. Stop that. No, it never. There is no.
There's no ticking clock.
No time. Time is now. She's so kind. You know what? That's what you're making me. So I think we should bring on our guests, because if we don't do it,
Okay. Okay. I think my wife just lost it.
So I really think we should bring on our guests sooner than later, because you're out of control today. You've got trigger finger.
I'm sorry.
I need that finger.
Oh.
Would you please save that finger?
Oh, behave.
Okay, can we do it?
Yes.
Can we bring on our first guest?
Courage.
Okay, we're going to do it. Sandy Weiner, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, is the founder of Last First Date and the Women of Value. She is an internationally known TEDx speaker, dating coach, women's empowerment coach, author, and podcast host. She believes a woman of value gets the She gets the respect and rewards she deserves in life and love. Sandy's work has been published in Mind, Body, Green, The Huffington Post, Psychology Today, The Good Men Project, The Chicago Tribune, and more. She's also the host of...
Why are you laughing?
Excuse me,
Whoa,
Sandy.
Nelly!
Sandy, we're going to edit this. Don't worry.
Okay.
I don't think we are. I think we're
God,
gonna keep
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm
I love
crying. This has never happened before.
Oh, really?
No. Okay. Shh. Sandy's work has been published in Mind, Body, Green, The Huffington Post, Psychology Today, The Good Men Project, The Chicago Tribune, and more. She's also the host of 2 podcasts, Last First Date Radio and the Women of Value podcast. Sandy believes it's never too late to have the life and love you want. So true. Sandy, welcome to Done Being Single.
Welcome, Sandy.
And I apologize for my husband.
Yeah, I apologize for my wife. It's really unfortunate that she couldn't keep it together.
I don't know if I warned Sandy that we don't take ourselves too... Did I warn you, Sandy, that we have time here on this show?
You did tell me you had fun on the show. And as I said before, I was married to a comedian, a professional comedian, for 23 years. So basically, I lived this life for 23 years.
Okay, so
I'll try to be.
So my question is, then laughs ultimately could not save the marriage, no matter how funny he was. Does comedy save the day or no?
Laughter is important. Yes. There was less laughter in the house than there was on the stage. So.
Okay.
We're not going to dwell on that because we're past it.
But you know what? I want to know your story, Sandy. So tell us, back up. Tell us all about you and how you became single and how you took an interest in this business and in this area, which, by the way, it's so admirable and honorable, and I love that you're dedicating your life to it. I think it's so fantastic to have strong women advocating for other women, and we need more of people like you. So I want to know it all. Tell us from the beginning.
How much time do you have?
uh, tell us how you got into this.
The highlights.
Yeah.
How did I get into it? So when I was getting divorced, the divorce was the wake-up call for me. It was, I had been unhappy for a very long time. And as I was divorcing, I was sort of like, oh, there's more to life than what I was living. I was kind of doing a good job of surviving, but not thriving. And so I started thinking, what was it that I loved that I gave up during my marriage? And one of those things that I never pursued was some kind of therapeutic field. I had been an art therapy major in school. I hated the art therapy, so I ended up majoring in art. And as I was divorcing, I said, I want to get back to that, to helping people part, because that is a big part of who I am. My 8th grade yearbook said she is the go-to person to get, good common sense advice. And so coaching was a great fit for me. I got certified as a coach as I was divorcing. And about 2 years after I became a coach, a friend of mine who was dating used to take walks with me every day, and she was making a freaking mess of her love life. And so she would tell me things like, oh, there's this guy and we're dating, and he told me he's not at all available for a relationship. Well, what do you think he meant by that? And I go, he meant exactly what he said. It's pretty clear that guys are telling you the truth and you're not listening. And one day she said, you're like a man whisperer, like you really understand men. And I thought, well, that's interesting, because I didn't study this, but I had a good sense of men and women and dating at this age. And I hadn't even started dating yet. And I didn't know it was a field. I just kind of happened upon it. And so I started working in this area, and I really wanted people to make less mistakes. I realized what led me into the marriage I had was because of my upbringing and my parents' relationship. And so many of us repeat the mistakes of our childhood and the homes that we grew up in, and we can do better. And I want people to have toe-curling, epic, loving relationships, and they are possible. So that's pretty much how I got to where I am today. And then the women's empowerment part, which is the last part, happened because I realized that as I was helping women, the thing that I loved the most was really having them believe in themselves, be empowered, be better communicators, set clear boundaries, all the stuff that's really important to living a great life. And so I started going into the workplace and doing this work with women to help them show up in bigger ways.
I love it. That's why you're on this show, Sandy, because I know your work, and it's, like I said, it's so wonderful and worthy. And we're going to get into, I'm going to ask some sort of rapid fire questions after the break as we bring in our next guest. And we're really going to get into this whole world, the world of women after 50, single or not single, actually.
So we are going to take our first break though right now, and we will be right back with Sandy and Silke.
Hope you enjoyed part 1 of Done Being Single with Treva and Robby. I had so much fun being on their podcast. I will link to the full audio version on Voice America. The link will be in the video description below. And if you haven't already done so, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. Button's right over here. See you next time.